All right, welcome back and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, XCAL comes to you with race number 5 from Phoenix. This is the old school, the correct version of Phoenix, the good version of Phoenix, the great version. Yes, this is my favorite version of Phoenix as they get ready to go racing 250 laps around this old, beautiful track in the desert. Starting on pole tonight will be Octavio Rondoletto after his triumphant return to victory lane in his first race back at Rockingham. He is looking to go 2 in a row, already on the pole, already picking up a bunch of points for team owner Derek Colson. However, coming into this week, Austin Edwards is leading in the points with Blake Wynn. Austin actually starting to pull away just a little bit over Blake Wynn. Then Kyle Bartles, Luke Turpin, and Jonathan Schwartz now in the top 5. The teams right now, off constantly owned by Matt Bear, currently leads in the team scoring. Edwards High Performance in second, and J&S Racing 1 in third. J&S Racing actually has all 3 teams in the top 15 currently in owner's points. So it is getting even 5 races in. Things are starting to heat up, and with the return of Rondoletto, there is no telling what could happen here tonight. Art Hendren is in a different car tonight. He is racing for Stephen Rex tonight. We'll be talking to him in a few minutes. But first off, Derek Colson is waiting. Hey, Derek, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I know you have to be happy after Rockingham with Octavio's win, and now he sits on the pole tonight. How happy are you about that one?
It's been an interesting week. I mean, went from scraping the bottom of the barrel to, I mean, it's not a great team, but I mean, we got something going, I think.
I definitely think you guys are starting to show a lot of speed here. Only a few races into the season, already got your first win, and now I believe this is your first pole of the season. Can we expect Rondoletto to stick around for just a little bit?
He's going to run when he whatever schedule he wants to run. I mean, if he wants to run the rest of the races out, he's more than welcome. Or if he just wants to run 1 or 2, whatever, I'm basically going to leave that up to him. I mean, I don't know what he has committed outside of XCAL.
Well, it's definitely going to be nice to have Rondoletto back in the car and already putting in these strong performances for your team overall.
Yes, it's been a nice change. I mean, and then I've got Steven starting first time back since 2014. So, I mean, we're looking pretty good now.
It does look like you guys have a great team. Predictions on the night? Do you think one of your drivers will hit victory lane tonight?
I'm hoping Octavio does. I mean, he's been very fast throughout the heat races yesterday. I mean, Steven's been holding his own as well. So, I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
All right, man. Well, good luck to the team. Good luck to you as the owner, and I know you'll be out there cheering for him.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Derek Colson is the owner of Octavio Rondoletto's car, the 77. There you see it. And he will be starting from the pole. A great way to start the week when you go from winning at Rockingham to being up front at the start here today. Now, as we've seen in the past, every once in a while when it's patch day, issues do tend to crop up a little. We had some issues earlier on. Seems like we've got them all worked out. Everything going smooth, but don't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 little problems, including the big netcode bug. I know they were working. iRacing support does an amazing job, and I know they've been working on that this week. So hopefully with the patch, they've got that fixed, as Kendrick Cryer is really sending it through 1 and 2 and losing the back end. Now, let's see if we can get a hold of Art Hendren, who is in a Rent-A-Rex car. Hey, Art, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug. Yes, I do.
Hey, I have to ask, and I had not heard this term until I was talking to Aaron before the race. You are driving a Rent-A-Rex car tonight.
Yes, I am. The number 28 Dropping Bombs racing car tonight.
So how does that come about, and will we see you in that some more this season?
Well, it come about because Stephen Rex was my teammate last year with Dropping Bombs Racing. I probably will not be driving the car anymore this year unless Stephen's unavailable. So I run for Paul Coleman this year, and K2 Sauce is my sponsor. So, but tonight I did not qualify for the race, so I am racing for Stephen Rex.
Well, that is definitely a great situation to get you back in. I know end of last season you had some, your luck kind of started to turn around a little bit. You started coming forward, but this season hasn't been the fastest start to it. Do you feel some more speed coming on, and will we expect to see you in victory lane this season?
Yeah, the car is actually pretty fast. I don't know about victory lane, but I am trying to accomplish a top 5. So we're going to really try really hard this year to do that.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, man. There were several times you had a great run going last season, only for something to bite you in the last 10% of the race. And I cannot begin to tell you how heartbroken Petey and I were watching you charge through the field, only to have something go wrong at the end. So best of luck here tonight.
All right. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it very much.
All right. Art Hendren in the Rent-A-Rex car here tonight. And we're going to see if we can get a hold of Brandon Varney so I can correct a mistake I made last week. Hey, Brandon, this is Doug. You got me?
10-4, bud. How are you?
Hey, I am really good. First off, I apparently got some notes wrong going into last week's race, and I know it gave you a little bit of a headache the next day. My apologies on that. I thought I'd give you a chance to talk about that a little bit and definitely make your sponsors feel a little better tonight.
Oh, no worries, man. Mistakes happen. Bronson, Brandon, they're close.
Yeah, they kind of are, but I guess I had, looking back at my notes, I had his name on one line, your name on the other, different notes written down for each, and just a bit confused, and it was a long night last time.
Yeah, Rockingham usually does that to you. Makes everything harder.
It looks like you've got a fast car tonight. You're currently 13th fastest out there, and you are known for the long-run speed. Are you going to be able to come up through the field tonight and pull off the win?
I don't know about a win, but I think I got a top 5 piece. I made a mistake and dumped Rodney German in a heat race. Came from the back and finished 5th in 40 laps. So I think we got a pretty good piece under us. Wow,
that does sound like a great comeback. I know coming here last year, things got really exciting on track, especially a couple of incidents going through the dogleg on the back straightaway. Do you guys have a strategy for dealing with which line you want to be in and where you're the safest coming through that section?
I think you're the safest when you're up top. There's just too many variables when you're on the bottom. It's really easy to overdrive here, so you really got to pay attention to be on top of it if somebody's below you.
Well, hopefully you can keep it up top and get it up there in the top 5, maybe even into victory lane tonight. Best of luck to you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, Brandon Varney, and obviously a bit of confusion last week, but looking forward to seeing how Varney can do here tonight. Now, 3 minutes left in practice. Then we go to Green Flag Racing. This is the legacy version of Phoenix, so it is 1 mile around this dogleg weirdly shaped oval. As you see there, 1 mile, 11 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2, 9 degrees in 3 and 4, 3 degrees of banking on the straightaways and through the dogleg. Things will get interesting in the dogleg on the back straightaway. Did see a couple of incidents there last season. It's always a tricky part of the track to run through, but XCAL drivers are some of the best drivers on iRacing. Expect to see a lot of green flag runs here tonight. I think last season we saw only a couple of cautions and a really, really clean race and a lot of 3 wide battling around here. In fact, a couple of times it was 3 wide, multiple laps with no incidents, nobody touching, just a bunch of hard, clean racing. That is what we have come to expect from XCAL. You've got less than 2 minutes left, just enough time to hit the snack bar, get something to eat, get something to drink while you're standing in line. Please hit that share button. And don't forget to drop into the comments section. Let us know who you're cheering for here tonight. Jason Rome, obviously confused. He's cheering on Topher again. No Topher here there, Jason. Just FYI. Jace Mungan does have the highest qualifying spot so far for his team, the Jones BS team. He'll be starting up in 5th. I know Edmund last night during the broadcast was between races was telling me he was really, really hyped about their chances. Look for that team to start making their way forward. But the top 3 teams out there right now, as we talked about just a little bit ago, Off Constantly, owned by Matt Bear, Edwards High Performance, owned by Austin Edwards, and JNS Racing 1. Those 3 teams are definitely the 3 top contenders this season. Look for those owners and those teams to be fighting for victories at any points position they can get. Hey, Joey. Yep, good luck to both Edmund and Jackson and that whole team here tonight. And I do believe, actually, I did get word just a little bit ago. Let's see if Jackson's got... Yeah, Jackson has a new paint scheme here tonight. Edmund does as well. I think we'll see a few drivers with new paint schemes this week. All right, it is all practice is done. It is time to go racing from Phoenix. All right, up front is going to be Octavio Rondoletto and Zach Edwards. On the second row is Austin Edwards and Kendrick Cryer. Jace Mungan and Luke Turpin have the third row. Jackson McLean and Jonathan Bronson on the fourth. Dwayne Robinson and PDJ Zeller round out the top 10. Jim Johnson is in 11th. Patrick Sullivan in 12th. Art Hendren 13th. Matt Bear 14th. 15th is Jonathan Schwartz. Edmund Jones is 16th. Travis Sukup is 17th. Jonathan Bergeron 18th. 19th is Stephen Wetton and Mason Foster in 20th. Brandon Varney starts in 21st. Greg Hulls in 22nd. Jose Gaudino is 23rd. John Friley back in 24th. 25th is Blake Wynn with Kyle Bartles in 26th. Albert Hewins in 27th. Robert Colgan 28th. Joe Campbell 29th. Ryan Seams in 30th. Alex Crapser, Josh Doobie, Gerald Danospool, Tim Marlowe, Rodney German, Kenny Tripp, Sean Patrick, Richard Holiday, Jeff Edgar, Derek Colson, Jonathan Emerson, and Alex Grates rounding out the field. Danielle Sargent dropping in, cheering on the JNS team. Currently, JNS 1 is third in overall team points, so things could get a bit interesting. All three JNS teams, when I looked earlier today, showing in the top 15 in owners' points. Now, we have spent several hours today working on addressing issues that have popped up, but don't forget, we are live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube tonight, so if Facebook decides to start being wonky again, you have other options to watch. Hey, thanks, Richie. Hey, thanks, buddy. Pace truck drops off. Rondoletto has the lead as they come down. Aaron Hillebush waves the green flag. They are down and away from Phoenix. Generally takes about 3/4 of a lap for all these cars to get up to speed here at Phoenix, but once they do, yeah, things are about to get really exciting. Did see a ton of 3-wide racing through here last season. Midway through the field, everybody so far so good through 3 and 4. Lap 1, no issues. Octavio is out front. Zach Edwards in second. Jonathan Bergeron already up 3 spots, and he looks like he's taking spots up on the high side. Some drivers do set up to run that high line here, and it definitely pays off. Derek Colson also up 4 spots. He is now up to 36th. Rondoletto still out front, the top 5 single file. Luke Turpin back in 6th. Jackson McLean now in 7th. 8th is Jonathan Bronson as they battle it out for that position. These guys always put on a great show here. Got to get some heat in those tires. And look at this. Jonathan Bergeron has run the fastest lap of the race so far and made his way up to 12th after starting in 18th. We could very well see that driver come all the way to the front before this night is over. But hopefully he's saving a little bit of tires because this track does have a tendency to go long runs. Octavio still out front, still trying to open up a bit of a gap here. Just under half a second back to Zach Edwards. And look at this. Austin Edwards, Jace Mungan, Kendrick Cryer, the 3 teammates, nose to tail. And Kendrick Cryer looked like he was kicking that back end out again. Let's watch him all the way around. Saw him practice. That car was way, way loose through 1 and 2. Out of turn 4, here comes Cryer. They're side by side right now as Zach Edwards trying to make something happen on the high side. Will Kendrick hold on to it here? He does, but doesn't look like he has nearly as much speed. Meanwhile, Jonathan Bergeron just cranked off another really fast lap. Fastest lap of the race yet again. Now up 8 spots into 10th. Mason Foster is now up 5 spots. He is started in 20th up to 15th. Brandon Varney, who started 21st, up to 18th. Greg Holes in 19th, up 3 spots. Another driver starting to make his way forward, Tim Marlowe. Tim started in 34th and is now up to 27th, up 7 spots. Same with Josh Doobie, up 4 spots. Ryan Seams in 29th, Kenny Tripp in 30th. Octavio's lead holding at about 0.6 of a second right now. Austin Edwards now up to 2nd. Jace Mungan in 3rd. Cryer in 4th. Zach Edwards unable to get past the teammates. He is now back in 5th. Turpin in 6th. Jackson McLean in 7th. And look who Jackson McLean is having to battle. Let's dial up the in-car camera of Jonathan Bergeron all across the start-finish line, down into turn 1. He sends it deep in there, closes the gap big time on Luke Turpin. Down through the dogleg on the back straightaway. A little bit of a dip down there by the yellow rumble strips. Can upset the car. Doesn't seem to bother him a bit. And a little bit loose off turn 4. You see him having to fight the wheel to the right just a little bit. He did that lap in 31.49 and again set the fastest lap of the race. Octavio still out front. Jonathan Bergeron really making it. Look at this. He is going down to the inside on Luke Turpin. Easily clears Turpin. I have to wonder, it looked like Turpin didn't fight very much on that one. I have to wonder if, with the speed Jonathan Bergeron has right now, if Luke Turpin saw how quickly he closed and just said, you know what, buddy, I'll get you back on the long run. Bergeron now closing in on Zach Edwards. A little further back, Matt Bear up 3 spots already, started in 14th, running in 11th. Thanks, Jason. Dwayne Robinson now back to 12th. Patrick Sullivan has dropped to 13th. Edmund Jones has started making his way forward. Started in 16th up to 14th. Right behind him, though, it's getting a little dicey right in front of Matt Bear. PDJ Zeller on the bottom. Jackson McLean up top. Matt Bear looked like he was going to try and make a move under him out of turn 4. Oh, Jackson gets a big run up off the turn, but that car gets a little out of shape mid-turn. PD not giving up that position very easily. Now Dwayne Robinson looking high on Matt Bear. Jackson gonna fight by here, but PD coming back on the inside. Meanwhile, we were talking about Mason Foster just a couple spots back. He is up 5 spots already, started in 20th, up to 15th. Meanwhile, Octavio Rondoletto, caution is out for the first time. It looks like Richard Holiday and possibly Rodney German involved. Oh, they get together coming through the kink, it looked like. Let's take another look. Try and get a slightly different angle here. And it looks like a car just came up onto the track, collects Rodney German, and Robert Colgan involved in that as well. Robert Colgan there in the purple 61. Couldn't tell who that was. That was the 960. We'll have to take a quick look and see who the heck that was. But they obviously had some sort of an issue. That was Ryan Seams. Looked like he just came way up the track. Let's try and get another angle on Ryan here and see if we can see what happened. Gets down into the turn. Looks like he got a bump off turn 2. The car behind the 03 that bumped him ends up collected. First caution of the night. And a lot of drivers hitting pit road. I guarantee you not many are going to take tires here, but a lot of them are getting fuel. Blake Wynn stays out. John Friley, Alex Grates, Sean Patrick, Jeff Edgar, and Robert Colgan all stay out. Everybody back behind goes to pit road. Jason, how did I know that something like that would come from you, buddy? Thanks to Flaming Karma for the replays here tonight. Check out Flaming Karma Paint Shop and talk to Gerald Thanos Pool about getting your car painted just how you like it. All the J&S racing cars use Flaming Karma. And if you're really nice, Gerald might send you some pictures of the guitars and then you'll be drooling like I usually do. Looks like the lights are already out on the pace car. We're about to go green. Everybody who went to pit road has come back out. Don't believe any waiver rounds were necessary. Still early, but once we hit a long green flag run, lap cars will become an issue for the leaders. Now the question is, how long does it take a guy like Octavio to get back to the front? He is now back in 13th. And they do extend the caution after pit stops. Austin Edwards and Kendrick Cryer were the first two off of pit road, followed by Jace Mungan and Jonathan Bergeron. Bergeron has already come through a large portion of the field. He'll do it again here. Blake Wynn and John Friley up front. Sean Patrick, Alex Grates on the second row. Robert Colgan, Jeff Edgar of the third row. Kendrick Cryer and Austin Edwards on the fourth. Jace Mungan and Jonathan Bergeron rounding out the top 10. PDJ Zeller and Matt Bear 11th and 12th. Hey, thanks, Johnny. I have to agree with you on that. This one is definitely looking extremely competitive. Looking like there goes the pace truck. Green flag is back in the air. They are down and away. Blake Wynn goes to the lead, tries to set up for turn one. Alex Grates looks low, can't get there yet. Meanwhile, further back, Austin Edwards, the first car off pit road. Looks like he took fuel only on that stop. And Austin's starting to pick off cars already. The top three, Blake Wynn, Alex Grates, and John Friley, already starting to pull away from Jeff Edgar. But here comes Austin Edwards with help from behind of Jace Mungan. They are starting to work their way forward here. Jonathan Bergeron now back up into 7th place as he continues his march to the front. And look at this. Sean Patrick, who started back in 37th, did not pit. He is currently in 10th place. Rondoletto just slipped by and is now back into 9th. A lot of side-by-side battling. It looks like Blake Wynn no longer in the lead as Alex Grates gets by and takes the lead for the first time tonight. Austin Edwards now up to 4th. Jace Mungan in 5th. And look at Jeff Edgar. Started 39th, now back in 7th. He is stuck up on the high side. Not a lot of gaps in this lead group. He'll probably have to wait for Octavio to come by to slip back. He might have pulled off slipping back in line. Won't be able to get to the bottom in turn 1 and 2, though. Alex Grates, though, out front for the first time. Blake Wynn in 2nd, Friley in 3rd. Then Austin Edwards and Jace Mungan working their way toward the front together. Jonathan Bronson currently running in 10th. Matt Bear is 11th. Sean Patrick has drifted back to 12th. Still a far better position than where he started, and if he can hold in the top 15, could have a very good night here tonight. Petey has slipped back to 14th. Robert Colgan now in 15th. Dwayne Robinson 16th. Patrick Sullivan 17th. Brandon Varney is 18th. Mason Foster in 19th. Edmund Jones back to 20th. Jackson McLean had a bad pit stop and is drifted back into 22nd. And no big surprise, Jonathan Bergeron turned another quick lap, the fastest lap of the race so far. He just keeps beating his own laps. Nobody has been able to touch his lap time so far. He is currently battling side by side for 5th. Jace Mungan stuck up there on the high side. Not bad to be on the high side in 1 and 2. Really not a good situation in 3 and 4. Austin Edwards currently up to 3rd and continuing his march forward after his win at Martinsville. He has the overall points lead. Jonathan Bergeron still battling up in 5th, and look at this battle for the lead. Nobody giving an inch. Alex Gray top to the high side to help Jace out. Blake Wynn trying to make something happen on the bottom, but as we saw in practice, those Edwards High Performance cars and their teammates definitely have a car set up for the high side. Outside the top 10, Luke Turpin now in 10th. PDJ Zeller has made his way back to 11th. PD's starting to pick up some speed the last couple of races. He has started being in contention quite a bit more. Pat Sullivan and Jeff Edgar side by side. That is for 13th. Wow, what a bump. Pat Sullivan just got from Dwayne Robinson to help him get around. Dwayne starting to work his way back forward. John Friley currently running in 12th, started 24th. He is having a great night so far. But these drivers that did not pit under caution, they're going to have to stop and make green flag stops before everybody else that did pit. Only 5 cars stayed out on pit or stayed off pit road under the first caution. Kendrick Cryer in the mix. Octavio Rondoletto has made his way back up into 5th as well. Jace Mungan now has the lead, and as he moves to the lead, he actually starts pulling away just a little bit. Obviously, a lot of help from Alex Grates. And Alex started tail into the field tonight. Alex had an EOL penalty coming into this week for changing lanes before the start-finish line multiple times last week. So he started all the way back in 42nd, has made his way in 42nd, and has made his way up into 2nd. Kendrick Cryer now in 3rd. Octavio up to 4th. Blake Wynn in 5th. Jonathan Bergeron in 6th. Austin Edwards back in 7th, one of the winningest drivers in XCAL history, and didn't even run a full season last season, but set the XCAL record, looking to break his own record this season with 12 wins, I believe is what it'll take. He's already got one at Martinsville. Jonathan Bronson back up in the top 10 into 8th. Matt Bear is 9th. Luke Turpin in 10th. Brandon Varney now up 7 spots. He is in 14th. John Friley in 15th. Mason Foster, one of the drivers that pitted, dropped back into the 20s, has now made his way back up into 16th. Edmund Jones and Jackson McLean have started recovering lost positions together. They are 17th and 18th. Kenny Tripp started 36. He is now up to 19th. Tim Marlowe started 34th, up to 20th. Jeff Edgar started 39th, up to 18th. I think we've got some extremely fast cars out here. A little further back, Jonathan Emerson, who started 41st, is now up to 27th. Derek Colson, also we mentioned him earlier, started in 40th, now up to 29th. Jace Mungan out front now has Kendrick Cryer right behind him, the teammates, but look who has snuck his way back into third, Octavio Rondoletto. Although I'd be more worried about that car on the inside right now. Jonathan Bergeron back up into fourth. Bergeron really sending it tonight. Comparing his pit stops to all the other drivers, he had one of the fastest pit stops out there as well. Alex Greats in 5th after starting 42nd. Losing a little bit of ground since the restart, but still picking up a ton of spots. Jonathan Bergeron is just putting on a clinic here tonight, charging through the field the way he has. A little further back, and it is PDJ Zeller getting under Blake Wynn. That is going to move PD into 10th. Back behind them, a 4-car battle is Patrick Sullivan in 12th. Dwayne Robinson 13th. Brandon Varney in 14th. Mason Foster in 15th. Mason starting to march his way back toward the front as well. Edmund Jones now up to 16th. Jackson McLean in battling Kenny Tripp for 17th. And that battle's starting to heat up just a little bit as Tim Marlowe's back there. Looks like Tim's going to give Jackson a little push down the front straightaway. Yeah, Jason, that is one heck of a charge, isn't it? 42nd to 5th. He is really sending it. Jace Mungan still has the lead. Kendrick Cryer gets stuck up on the high side into 1 and 2. Rondoletto comes down. It is now Rondoletto and Jonathan Bergeron coming by. Kendrick gets shuffled back into 4th. But he has help coming from behind. Alex Greats and Austin Edwards are 5th and 6th and closing the gap. Jonathan Bronson currently in 7th. Matt Bear is in 8th now. Luke Turpin up to 9th and P.D. Zeller in 10th. Rondoletto, it's a 3-wide battle for the lead. Rondoletto goes for it. He's going to clear, but here comes Bergeron down to the bottom. Down through 3 and 4, Bergeron has a run. Momentum off the high side gives Octavio that lap, but now Bergeron gets a little push down the front straightaway from Jace Mungan. And it's going to be a drag race down the back straightaway through the dogleg. And, oh, it looked like Jace was going to try and make it 3 wide. He thinks better of it. Maybe he thinks better of it. I don't know. He keeps looking like he's going to try something here. That bottom line is definitely the place to be here. Does put more wear on the tires, though. But it is the fastest way around, and now Jonathan gets a nose ahead. But here comes Octavio back on the high side. And look at all the Edwards high performance cars and Jones cars all there together. Off of turn 4, can Jonathan Bergeron lead his first lap? No, it is Octavio at the line. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Neither one of them giving an inch here. Jonathan getting a little help from behind, but now looks like Kendrick Cryer might be thinking about moving up to the high side to get past his teammate. Octavio leads again at the line. And this battle just is not going to end anytime soon. Wow, look at the push Bergeron gets. Jace is giving him everything he can here. Trying to get him past Rondoletto. I imagine Jace is trying to get back to the lead. Oh, it looked like Jonathan got a little loose out of turn 2. He does. Octavio manages to get down and reclaims the lead. And now here comes Jace Mungan to the bottom for second. Off of turn 4, Jace might have the momentum. He can't get far enough in. And it looks like Jonathan's going to try and block the run. Can he get down there now? He does get down underneath him. Doesn't allow the run on the bottom. Now Octavio's going to run a line at the bottom to try and hold off Jonathan Bergeron. Jace Mungan in third, Kendrick Cryer fourth, Alex Grates in fifth. They get single file for the moment. Austin Edwards still in sixth, Jonathan Bronson in seventh, Matt Bear is eighth, Luke Turpin is ninth, Petey Zeller in 10th. Blake Wynn now up to 11th. Dwayne Robinson at 12th. Mason Foster has made his way up into 13th now. Just quietly picking them off one at a time. And Blake Wynn has come to pit road. It looks like we are about to see the drivers that did not pit come to pit road, which means we should see Alex Grates give up 5th in the next few laps. Meanwhile, Jonathan Bergeron now looking to the high side on Rondoletto. And Bergeron might have the advantage off turn 4 like we saw Octavio have every single lap. Jonathan Bergeron is scored with the lead on that lap. His first lap led of the day. Alex Grates does give up 5th and comes to pit road. Rondoletto manages to clear and get back to the lead. We will keep you looking at the race while we take our first commercial break at lap 51.
the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, welcome back to the action, and we saw a bunch of drivers hit pit road at lap 50, or just a few laps before, so it looks like we're talking about 45 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel, meaning that these drivers up at the front will hit pit road in the next 10 laps or so. Although a guy like Octavio, expect him to go a lap or two further than everybody else. Luke Turpin, likely able to go 4 to 5 laps more than everybody else. And others in those groups likely to stretch the fuel further than everybody else, letting the strategy play out there. Although Luke Turpin did say this season he focused less on fuel mileage and more on speed. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Meanwhile, after that first few cars hit pit road, a new driver into the top 10, Tim Marlowe, who started in 34th, has now made his way up into 10th place. He is another one having a great run here tonight. Look for him to possibly march his way all the way to the front before this is all said and done. And Matika and Emma, as always, cheering on Edmund Jones, who has now made his way up into 11th. Mason Foster has made his way up into 12th. Brandon Varney now in 13th. The battle's really heating up just outside of the top 10 as well. Kenny Tripp, who started way back in 36th, is now up into battling for 16th. And look at this mess. A lot of side-by-side racing mid-pack right now. Greg Holes in 17th, Jim Johnson in 18th. He had drifted quite a bit further back. Jim starting to come alive here later in the run. Josh Doobie now in 19th, up 13 spots. And Jackson McLean, who has also been struggling, starting to make his way back forward again in 20th. But it is still Octavio, although we're about to have a battle for second between teammates as Kendrick Cryer goes by. And Jace Mungan gets trapped up top as Jonathan Bergeron comes by, now back into third. Jace Mungan now back to fourth. Austin Edwards up to fifth now. Tim Marlowe, Edmund Jones, Brandon Varney, all right there nose to tail from 10th on back. Patrick Sullivan in 13th. Mason Foster in 14th. Dwayne Robinson in 15th. And I am guessing that before too much longer, Octavio is going to have to deal with some lap traffic as Jonathan Bergeron dives to the bottom to take second. And Jonathan Bergeron gets loose out of turn 2, manages to save it, but loses a ton of momentum. Every time Bergeron goes down to the bottom, looks like he struggles with that car getting a little bit loose. He made a lot of his passes early in the race up top. Looks like that car was set up for running that outside line, but he's going where he can. Tim Marlowe still leading this second pack from 10th place. Petey Zeller now up into 9th, following Luke Turpin and Matt Bear. Matt up to 7th, this whole top 10 within striking distance of each other. Looks like some of these cars are starting to have handling issues just a little bit late in the run as the fuel burns off. Ryan Seams is the first to come to pit road. Gerald Poole is now on pit road. Rodney German has hit pit road. And Mason Foster makes a power move off of turn 2. He comes by Pat Sullivan. Jonathan Bergeron is on pit road. One of the 2 fastest cars on the track. Octavio does look like he is about to get into some lap traffic here. Jonathan Bergeron, Steve Wetton, Josh Doobie, and Octavio goes to pit road. Looked like Octavio had some problems trying to get down there. Now Kendrick Cryer is going to assume the lead. This field is about to get really strung out with green flag pit stops, and that's going to make things extraordinarily tricky as the leaders try and fight their way past lap traffic and have to battle each other. Now Kendrick Cryer heads pit road. Austin Edwards stays out. No surprise there. Also Luke Turpin's still out. Austin Edwards first, Jonathan Bronson in second, Matt Bear in third, Turpin in fourth. Foster now up to fifth. Foster, another one we should see on pit road anytime. Dwayne Robinson, Mason Foster, Jim Johnson, all on pit road. The top 5 still staying out, including now Alex Krapser, who's made his way up into 5th during pit stop. Zach Edwards 6th, Jonathan Schwartz 7th, and Albie Hewins in 8th. And now Austin Edwards, Jonathan Bronson have come to pit road. Turpin and Matt Bear are the last 2 out there. Actually, Zach Edwards, Jonathan Schwartz, and Albie Hewins have not come to pit road either. Everybody else has cycled through their second pit stop. Or in some cases, those who didn't stop under caution, Matt Bear comes to pit road. Those who didn't stop under caution, they are have only stopped once. Luke Turpin, as no surprise here, he has extended that fuel further than everybody else. Sometimes we think Harry Hogg might have been working on his race car and put a mile of extra tubing in that fuel line in that car. Luke Turpin finally comes to pit road. Zach Edwards and Jonathan Schwartz are still out. Expect to see these 2, and here comes Schwartz. Zach Edwards is staying out. If Zach Edwards can make it to the line next time by, he'll lead his first lap of the night. The J&S teams have really been playing the strategy game here a lot lately. They had said in the offseason they really worked on their fuel mileage. It has definitely paid off in the last few races as they have played that strategy game to pick up extra points for leading a lap. Zach Edwards now to pit road, and he should pick up leading this lap. Let's watch as he comes across. Zach Edwards does lead that lap. As things cycle around, Octavio Rondoletto should be back in the lead with Jonathan Bergeron in second, all over the back bumper. Kendrick Cryer in third, Austin Edwards will be in fourth, and PDJ Zeller in fifth. Octavio now under attack, and look at this. Jonathan Bergeron drives it into turn 1. Easily gets past Octavio. And Octavio is literally pushing him down the back straightaway. Octavio is one of those drivers you can trust him to push you and not turn you. But I don't think Jonathan's been around long enough to know that it might have made him a little bit nervous. Jonathan Bergeron back in the lead. He led one lap earlier. He scored with one lap led earlier on. Now he is going to lead a few. Octavio Rondoletto now to second. Kendrick Cryer in third. Austin Edwards in fourth. And look at this. PDJ Zeller is now in fifth. Jace Mungan in sixth. Matt Bear is in seventh. Turpin is in eighth. Alex Greats in ninth. And Blake Wynn is 10th. And it looks like the pit stops have cycled a few people around and helped a few out here. Tim Marlowe now to 11th. Mason Foster up to 12th. Edmund Jones is 13th. Brandon Varney 14th. And Greg Holes in 15th. Dwayne Robinson now in 16th with Colgan 17th, Patrick Sullivan in 18th, Kenny Tripp now up to 19th. Jonathan Bronson ended up losing a lot on pit road. He had a very long pit stop, and he is now back into 20th. Jeff Edgar in 21st, Alex Kratzer in 22nd, Zach Edwards 23rd, Doobie 24th, Jonathan Schwartz in 25th. And Edmund Jones has a big fan section tonight. Emma helping cheer him on. She believes in you, buddy. Go get her done. Especially after such a close race last night. Octavio has reclaimed the lead from Jonathan Berger, and something tells me we're going to see these two going back and forth all night long here at Phoenix. Kendrick Cryer has caught back up to them in third. Austin Edwards is closing in fourth. But look at the run PDJ Zeller has had tonight here up into fifth place. We've seen him have a couple of runs that he finished just outside the top 10. But tonight, he's got a little something extra in that car. He is running in fifth. He is at a steady march to the front. Jace Mungan currently in sixth. Matt Bear in seventh. Luke Turpin in 8th. Looking through here, only a couple of drivers stopped at the same lap as Luke Turpin. Everybody else stopped between lap 64 and 68. Luke Turpin goes to lap 70. The only other drivers that do that, Zach Edwards went to lap 71. Jonathan Schwartz went to lap 70. 2 to 3, or anywhere from 2 to 5 laps more, and if they do that on every run, that could end up saving them a pit stop down the line. We've seen that happen with Turpin before, as Jonathan Bergeron gets a little loose trying to get around Octavio. Kendrick Cryer just lurking there, waiting to bounce. Austin Edwards in fourth, Jace Mungan in fifth. Alex Greats has had a great charge through the field tonight. By virtue of staying out under caution, he had gotten up into the top 5. He has now got his fuel, had his green flag stop, and is still in the top 10, up to 9th from 42nd. Blake Wynn up to 10th after starting 25th, and Tim Marlowe started 24th. He is up to 11th. Worth noting, Blake Wynn comes into tonight second in points, but almost almost 60 points behind Austin Edwards. Austin currently running in 4th and Blake in 10th. Jonathan Bergeron back to the lead. Rondoletto in 2nd. Looking through the field to see where some of the other battles are going on track. Kenny Tripp now looking underneath Jonathan Bronson for 20th place. Kenny up 15 spots already, looking to make it 16th. Josh Doobie, haven't looked at Doobie in a while, but here he is currently in 24th after starting 32nd. And who was right in front of Robert Colgan? Something is wrong with Colgan's car. He was extremely out of shape out of 4, and it looked like it took the entire front straightaway to gather that car up. Caution! Jose Gadino involved. Oh, Jose gets a little tap, and then cars behind get caught up as, the 28 also involved. That is Art Hendren driving for Steven Rex this week. Art coming out of turn 2. We talked about it with him in the pre-race. Just the bad luck he has had this season. And at the end of last season, looked like his luck was turning around, but that has not been the case here today. All the drivers were on pit road about 20 laps ago, but I do expect to see a lot of them back on pit road just to top off on fuel. Also, just for those of you at home, if you've had a cough drop in your mouth the last 50 laps, do not take a big gulp of ice water. Trust me, that does not work well. And it looks like all the leaders are coming to pit road this time. Who's going to be the first to stay out? I'm not seeing anybody staying out on this one. Jim Johnson is the first one to stay out. Jim last pitted on lap 67, so just about 18 laps ago. Looks like he is going to roll the dice on this one. Thanos in the 04, looks like he and Rodney German are staying out to get waved around. They are in the wave around position, and that should actually put Art Hendren and Richard Holiday. Richard appears to possibly be out of the event, but Art Hendren will get one lap back here by virtue of XCAL rules, so that should put everybody back on, and Jim Johnson comes to pit road. Now the question becomes, will Jim lead a lap here? And he has scored as the leader at the line. And after the pit stops, Luke Turpin looks like he is going to reassume the lead. As they come around on the back straightaway, Luke Turpin now has the lead. Austin Edwards second. Matt Bear is third. Octavio Rondoletto back to fourth. Kendrick Cryer in fifth. Jonathan Bergeron in sixth. PD in seventh. Jace Mungan is in eighth. Dwayne Robinson in ninth. And Zach Edwards in 10th. And would you look at that? There are still some really good seats in the stands. You could hit the share button and get your friends and family to come watch this race. And while you're at it, you could go check out XCALRacing.com and the XCAL Racing web shop. Get all your Massive Wheel PD gear, all your XCAL gear, and support XCAL by becoming a sponsor. Lights are still on the pace car, but everybody is stacking back up, getting ready for the restart. All the wave rounds are being done. Still showing 38, 39 cars on the lead lap, most of the field. And it looks like Aaron Hillebush in the flag stand did give the 1 to go signal. A few drivers coming off pit road at the last minute, hoping to beat the pace truck out. Looks like Kyle Bartles and Sean Patrick both managed to beat the pace car off pit road. Pace car about to drop off out of turn 4. Pace truck is in. Green flag is back in the air. They are down and away. Luke gets a good jump, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And Octavio Rondoletto, Luke Turpin unable to break away. Octavio Rondoletto now trying to push Austin Edwards forward so he can get clear and start making his way toward the front again. Matt Bear up into third. And now battling Austin for second. Into 3 and 4, Austin Edwards up on the high side. Oh, a little wiggle out of Octavio. Everybody has to get evasive. It looked like Kendrick Cryer dived down to the bottom. Great save by Cryer, great save by Rondoletto. That could have been a much, much worse situation. Oh no, Jonathan Bergeron got the wall out of turn 2. He manages to save it. We've seen him get loose in 1 and 2 a bunch of times here tonight. He is going to drift all the way back into 10th. And now he's stuck up on the high side. 3 wide, he's loose again. He got up in the loose stuff. Oh! Managing to hold on and fight his way back. Meanwhile, most of the top 10 is single file, but Jonathan Bergeron now back in 11th has a long, long way to go to get back to the front. He is in the middle, 3 wide. Jonathan Schwartz on the bottom. He clears PDJ Zeller. Meanwhile, Luke Turpin has taken the lead. Matt Baird is second. Rondoletto to third. Austin Edwards to fourth. Kendrick Cryer in fifth. PDJ Zeller up. Oh, wow. Look at this mess as they go off. That top 6 or 7 are single file. And then it's 2 by 2 as they battle for position. And it looked like Jonathan Bergeron thought about trying to stick the nose in the middle. But Brandon Varney is right there, battling his way back into the top 10. And Petey looked a little bit loose coming off of turn 4 as well. Jonathan Bergeron starting to fight his way back up on the high side. And a little bit of a stack up right behind Schwartz. Look like we've got cars wrecking. Caution is out. Looks like Jonathan Bronson and Tim Marlowe. And it looks like Marlowe got into the back of Varney. Bronson gets collected. Now that is not, that I think is Mason Foster. Marlowe gets into the back of him, tries to check up, and look at how many cars get impacted by this incident. Looks like Jim Johnson was caught, John Friley, Albie Hewins, Tim Marlowe, Gerald Poole, Ryan Seams. Jim Johnson had nowhere to go. He really got stuck in that one, as did Gerald. Riding along with, oh, what a hard hit by Ryan Seams as we ride along with him. Let's see what John Friley saw as he came out of turn 2. Big Smoke tries to go to the high side. This track tends to clean to the outside. Almost gets through that, but does take an impact on the outside. Kyle Bartle, Sean Patrick, a lot of drivers caught up in this one. Octavio Rondoletto still has the lead. We'll see if they come to pit road. Then, while we're under caution, we'll take our next commercial break and come back for the green. The big one at Phoenix. A lot of cars behind that wreck on pit road right now, trying to get some repairs. Remember, in XCAL, no fast repairs. It is old school, traditional racing. As real as it can be. All right, we will take a quick commercial. You'll still be able to see him under caution. We'll be back for the green.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
All right, as they stack back up for the restart, let's reset the field quickly. Octavio Rondoletto, Luke Turpin on the front row. Matt Bear, Austin Edwards on the second row. Kendrick Cryer, Jace Mungan of the third row. Zach Edwards, Jonathan Schwartz the fourth. Jonathan Bergeron and Dwayne Robinson have the round out the top 10. Brandon Varney in 11th, Petey Zeller in 12th, Edmund Jones 13th, Mason Foster 14th, and Steve Wedden in 15th, and Jackson McLean, Josh Doobie, Greg Holes, Kenny Tripp, Blake Wynn, and Robert Colgan round out the top 21. Pace car about to come to pit road, and then they will go green. Pace truck is in. Rondoletto fires, green flag in the air. Even though Rondoletto has the option to fire first, there is a very short time span at this track between the pace truck dropping in and them getting the green flag. Doesn't have the opportunity to take a big advantage here. But he gets a big advantage down the back straightaway, clears Luke Turpin, goes to the lead. Matt Baer now back in third. The battle is on behind between Kendrick Cryer and Austin Edwards, and Jonathan Bergeron already starting to march back toward the front. And he is following Zach Edwards to the front. Zach Edwards in the 6 having a great run here tonight. He has been in the top 10 most of the night. A lot of drivers had pitted on lap 85 from about 17th on back. Everybody pitted under that caution. They'll have a 10-lap advantage on the fuel. Octavio already starting to pull away, a 7/10 of a second gap on Luke Turpin. The battle is still on. Matt Baer trying to hold on to a top 5 spot, but Zach Edwards is looking low. Jace Mungan, Austin Edwards also side by side behind. Same with Schwartz and Robinson. A lot of side by side. Look at Brandon Varney now up into 11th. PD back to 12th after running 5th earlier. Has had a really good consistent night. Just needs a little something more to pull off a top 5, possibly a win here tonight. The way these guys are battling up here at the front, one mistake could impact the entire field here. And look at this, Bergeron sends it to the bottom under Zach Edwards as Luke Turpin is getting passed on the high side by Kendrick Cryer. It looked like Luke Turpin had a problem off of turn 4, lost a bunch of momentum. Meanwhile, Octavio has opened up a 1.6 second lead. 1.7 now. While these guys continue to battle it out back here, Octavio able to just pull away a little bit. We saw Octavio do the same thing at Rockingham a couple of times. While they battled behind him, he just checked out from the field. After Octavio's last season, he had such a great early season, led the points early, but later in the season, issues plagued him, whether it be getting caught in a wreck or running out of fuel in North Wilkesboro or at South Boston when the internet just kind of went to crap in Argentina and he ended up blinking out of the race after having a half of a lap lead. It was a heartbreaking end to the season for Octavio, but 2 races back, race 4 at Rockingham, he pulls the win, and here he is in race 5, leading again. And I guarantee you, Derek Colson, holy cow, what is up with Turpin? Something is definitely wrong with Turpin. He had some major problems coming down the front straightaway. That's the second time we've seen that since the restart, and Turpin is now back into 5th. Now Kendrick Cryer in 2nd, Bergeron in 3rd, and look at this. Brandon Varney has made his way up to 8th. Matt Baer into 9th, and Austin Edwards into 10th. Edmond now up to 11th. PDJ Zeller still in 12th. Greg Holes now up to 13th after starting 22nd. I do not know where Greg came from. He has just started sneaking his way forward. And it looks like he's bringing Mason Foster with him. Mason's been back around 20th. He's come up to about 15th a couple of times, but could we be seeing that car come alive here as well? Jackson McLean, who started in 7th, has been as far back as 25th has now made his way back up to 15th. Can he make his way back into the top 10? Dwayne Robinson in 16th. Josh Doobie, who started back in 32nd, is now up into 17th. Blake Wynn and Kenny Tripp side by side. Looks like Tripp might have the advantage here. That is for 18th place. Both drivers picking up a lot of spots in this race. Stephen Rex is cheering on Dwayne Robinson and saying, "Don't disappoint the boss." As we approach halfway, this race has had a lot of ups and downs tonight for a lot of drivers. Looks like Jim Johnson is back out there. Didn't take as much damage as we thought. Joe Campbell came through that mess okay and starting to march his way forward. Really hope to see Joe back in victory lane. He won the season opener at Charlotte, and what a wild, wild finish that was. Looked like Sean Patrick might have gotten a little bit loose off of turn 4. Watching to see, he is definitely struggling a little bit off turn 2. Looks like he's got a little bit of a push off turn 2 and probably a little loose off of turn 4. Octavio's lead 1.5 seconds. Now Jonathan Bergeron in second. Possibly the one car that could close down that gap. Kendrick Cryer in third. Jace Mungan in fourth. Luke Turpin in fifth. Schwartz now up to sixth. And we're not even at halfway, and Jonathan Schwartz is in sixth? That does not bode well for the rest of the field. Usually we don't talk about Jonathan Schwartz in the top 10 till the second half of the race. He is already up here. We've known for a while if he could ever get up there earlier in the race, he could get up there and get some wins. Could this be Schwartz's night? Zach Edwards back to 7th now. Brandon Varney now up into 8th. He continues his march forward. Matt Bear in 9th, and Austin Edwards has drifted all the way back to 10th. Bit of a surprise out of Edwards to be so far back at this point in the race. Rondoletto maintaining that 1.5 second lead over Bergeron. And look at this. It is mostly single file. Josh Doobie trying to make a move on Blake Wynn here into turn 3. That is a battle for 17th, so everybody in front of them from 1st to 16th pretty much single file at the moment. And look right behind him as Jonathan Bronson and Kenny Tripp battle it out. And looks like we got somebody blinking back there. Watch for a possible black flag. I'm not sure who that was. It might have been Jonathan Emerson. We'll have to watch here for a moment and see. Not seeing any more blinking out of that car, but somebody in that group is blinking just a little bit. Alex Krapser, who started 31st, now up into 24th. Emerson, though, started 41st and is now in 25th as he continues his march forward. Yeah, that is Emerson that is blinking. Expect to see him on pit road under a black flag before too much longer. Martin cheering on Octavio Rondoletto here. Can Rondoletto make it 2 in a row? Bergeron has only closed down about a tenth of a second. It is down to 1.4. We saw those two battling it out and trading the lead earlier, but separated. It doesn't seem like either of them has the major advantage here. It could come down to who goes the longest on their fuel run. And we saw Octavio go longer earlier. That could be the deciding factor here for these two drivers. Still single file. Everybody's starting to space themselves out a little bit. Have to go all the way back to, let's see how far back. Back to Kenny Tripp and Robert Colgan battling it out. That is for 20th and 21st. And a lot of side-by-side action further back in the field, as the top half of the field just single file clicking away laps. Kenny Tripp, Robert Colgan started 28th, currently in 21st. Kenny Tripp started 36th and currently in 22nd. And Alex Grates is not as far up as we have seen him tonight, but after the pit stops, he is currently in 23rd after starting in 42nd. Jonathan Emerson hanging back there in 24th. Alex Krapser now up to 25th. You know how this image would look a little bit better? I bet if we watched this battle from the XCALRacing.com blimp. Okay, the blimp is way too high. But from the chopper, and from the blimp, you can see the whole track, the field almost stretching the whole distance of the track here tonight. And a lot of battling going on as we talked about, mid-pack. Still a side-by-side battle. The 94 of Robert Colgan gets a little bit loose there. And it looks like Emerson's blinking is getting a bit worse. I'm surprised he has not received a black flag yet, but wouldn't be surprised if he gets called to pit road before too much longer. He's probably being told, clean it up or get to pit road now. Derek Colson, the owner of the car Octavio Rondoletto is driving, he started in 40th. He is now up to 26th. Jeff Edgar, another one, started 39th up to 28th. Octavio's lead is shrinking. Jonathan Bergeron is starting to close the gap. It is now down to 0.8 of a second. And just past halfway, looks like 38 cars still on the lead lap here tonight. At the halfway point on a 1 mile track, that's a pretty impressive number considering the number of drivers. 42 cars started here tonight. Ryan Seams has come to pit road and come back out. Doesn't look like he had damage. Stops on lap 118. That is about 20 laps early for a fuel stop. Jonathan Bergeron continuing to chip away a couple hundredths of a second at a time. He's also started pulling away from Kendrick Cryer in third. Jace Mungan in fourth. Luke Turpin in fifth. Jonathan Schwartz now up into sixth. He might crack the top five in the next few laps. Zach Edwards back to seventh. Brandon Varney continues his march forward into eighth. Matt Baer hanging on in ninth. And Austin Edwards in 10th. Edmund Jones now in 11th. He has been lurking outside the top 10 all night. I don't think he's going to move a teammate to get there, but if it gets down to the last few laps, you better believe somebody's getting moved there. P.D. Zeller in 12th. Mason Foster in 13th. Greg Holes now up to 14th. Jonathan Bronson back to 15th now. And we are starting to see some more battles as Dwayne Robinson makes a move on Josh Doobie. Doobie back down to the bottom. They are dirt tracking it through here. Slide job crossover. Slide job crossover. Will we see it again in 1 and 2 next time by? Down the front straightaway. Dwayne just pushing that car down because Steve Wetton looks like he might have something for these guys. Dwayne looks low, can't get there yet. Jackson McLean now back into the top 20. He is in 20th. Robert Colgan now in 21st. Alex Grates in 22nd. And Kenny Tripp in 23rd. Octavio's lead is now non-existent. Jonathan Bergeron has caught right back up to the back bumper. And now Bergeron looks to the bottom into turn one. Octavio not even going to fight him. I spoke too soon. Octavio crosses over out of two. Art Hendren is on pit road. Looks like green flag stops have officially begun again. Octavio back to the lead. Jonathan Bergeron had it for a corner. These two have put on one heck of a show and had one heck of a battle all night tonight. Kendrick Cryer now in third, Jace Mungan in fourth, and Luke Turpin up into fifth. The top 10 starting to close back up on each other. Zach Edwards now in 7th, Brandon Varney in 8th, Matt Baer in 9th, and Austin Edwards in 10th. Last time we looked at this group, they were starting to spread out a little bit. Looks like that is no longer the case. Sean Wetton has come to pit road. Octavio still holding the lead, but Jonathan Bergeron keeps looking. I guarantee you Jonathan is trying to make Octavio make a mistake, but he doesn't know Octavio rarely makes them. Kendrick Cryer in third, Jace Mungan in fourth. Those two teammates, they're not going to be battling this out anytime soon. Turpin back in fifth. Expect him to go 5 laps further than everybody else. PDJ Zeller is on pit road. After pit stops are completed, we'll do the full field rundown and see where your favorite driver is at. Octavio is on pit road. That is a surprise. Octavio is one of the drivers that was able to extend his fuel run earlier on. He is now to pit road. Brandon Varney is on pit road. Jonathan Bronson is on pit road. And it looks like Derek Colson might have had an incident trying to get to pit road. There you see Derek in the 5. Oh, he checked up a little too soon. Gets yeeted into the infield. Jonathan Bergeron gives up the lead. He is on pit road. Now it is Kendrick Cryer in the lead. Jace Mungan in second. Luke Turpin in third. Schwartz now up to fourth. Zach Edwards to fifth. Kendrick Cryer, Edmund Jones both come to pit road. Both drivers in the top 10. More of the top 10 should be coming any moment. Expect Luke Turpin to be out longer than anybody else. And it looks like Jace Mungan is going to come to pit road, giving the lead back to Luke Turpin. Zach Edwards in second. Matt Bear is third. Austin Edwards now fourth. Greg Hulls now fifth. Derek Colson's incident did not bring out a caution. If it had, a lot of drivers would have been trapped a lap down. Luke Turpin pulled a few sneakies. Matt Bear and Austin Edwards come to pit road. Luke Turpin gained a lot of positions by being able to stay out longer than anybody else, and cautions perfectly timed for him. During green flag pit stops is one of the most hazardous times on track, and often we see the cautions during those green flag stops. Especially at a track like Phoenix, where getting pit road entry right is tricky, and coming off pit road, you're literally coming right out onto the track. Jackson McLean working his way off pit road. Jace Mungan working his way off. See if we can catch somebody on their way out. Watch Dwayne Robinson as he comes off of pit road. You see the runoff, but those blue cones, he has to stay. Can't merge till he hits those blue cones, and that is where everybody comes off of turn 2 at. Things can get very exciting very quickly there. Luke Turpin is still out and coming around Octavio Rondoletto. Octavio coming by the 6 car, and Octavio trying to get back in front of Luke Turpin. He is a couple laps down. Luke Turpin now in. Kenny Tripp has not come in yet. Alex Grates has not come in yet. Jim Johnson has not come in. A lot of these drivers coming to the front did not stop until lap 96, so 10 laps later than the guys that are on pit road now. These are the guys that were involved in that incident on lap 95, and they had to come in, get some repairs. Jim Johnson might pull off the leading a lap here. And it does look like as they come out of turn 4, Jim Johnson will lead his first lap ever in XCAL points racing competition. Alex Crapser in second, Jeff Edgar in third, Albie Hewins in fourth. Great job by Jim Johnson playing the strategy, getting his first lap led in XCAL competition. Jim Johnson now on pit road. The lead goes to Crapser. Crapser will be scored leading that lap. More points for the JNS. The JNS team really, all three of the JNS teams doing extremely well in the strategy department here tonight. They've had multiple drivers lead laps here tonight. They've had multiple drivers up there. That is part of why this season the JNS 1 team is third in points. And Albie Hewins currently being scored in second. Jeff Edgar, Jim Johnson are down. Once Alex Crapser and Albie Hewins hit pit road, looks like Ron Doletto will assume the lead. Crapser is down. Will Albie Hewins take the upper? Holy cow! No, he came to pit road there. Yeah. What a move by Albie. And that will give the lead back to Octavio Rondoletto. Next time by, he is still being shown a lap down. Jonathan Bergeron in second, now 10 seconds back from Rondoletto. He ran him down from 1.5 seconds back, but there is a big difference between 1.5 seconds and 10 seconds. However, lap traffic will become an issue, and whoever gets through this lap traffic might be in the better situation. Rondoletto with a 10-second lead definitely has an advantage right now. Albie Hewins on his way off pit road already, as is Alex Crapser has completed his stop. Great move by both drivers. Great strategy out of a lot of these teams here tonight. All right, lap 150. Let's take you through the field here and see where your favorite drivers are running. Up front, Octavio Rondoletto. He has a 10-second lead over Jonathan Bergeron in second. Austin Edwards now in third. Jace Mungan in fourth. And Matt Bear started 14th. He is now up into 5th. Jonathan Schwartz into a position we're talking about him in the top 10 before the first half of the race was completed. What else can he do tonight? Luke Turpin now back in 7th. Superman has been stretching the fuel as usual. 4 laps longer than most this time. Mason Foster currently in 8th. Kendrick Cryer now up into 9th, and Brandon Varney has finally cracked the top 10 again. Zach Edwards back to 11th. PDJ Zeller in 12th, just 2 spots out of the top 10 where he has been all night. Expect to see him fight his way back in. Greg Hulls currently running in 13th. Jonathan Bronson now up into 14th. Edmund Jones in 15th. Blake Wynn currently 16th. Stephen Wetton currently in 17th. Derek Colson started 40th. He is now up to 18th. Josh Doobie started 32nd. He is currently in 19th. And Patrick Sullivan in 20th. Jeff Edgar currently running in 21st after starting 39th. Dwayne Robinson in 22nd. The boss is watching, Dwayne. Pick it up, buddy. Alex Grates in 23rd after starting in 42nd. Robert Colgan in 24th. And Sean Patrick currently running in 25th. Joe Campbell up to 26 after starting in 29th. Jim Johnson got a lap led for his team. He is currently in 27th. Kyle Bartles now in 28th. Kenny Tripp currently 29th. And Alex Krapser rounding out the top 30. Jonathan Emerson looks like he has corrected the connection issues. He is in 31st. Albie Hewins currently 32nd. Rodney German in 34th. John Friley 35th. Jose Godino, bit of a surprise to see him so far back. He is in 36th. And Jackson McLean in 37th, really struggling after a strong qualifying performance. Gerald Thanos Poole in 38th. Art Hendren on pit road currently scored in 39th. We'll see where he's at when he comes back out. 40th is Ryan Seams. Tim Marlowe, Richard Holiday, both off track. And after that full field rundown, Octavio's lead still holding at 10 seconds. We'll take a quick commercial break, but you'll still be able to watch the action. Don't go anywhere.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, caution is out just as we come back, and it looks like Robert Colgan is involved along with Jim Johnson and Sean Patrick. Looks like Colgan got a love tap from behind. Jim Johnson had nowhere to go. Neither does Joe Campbell. Here you see Colgan just gets sideways, then the 88 as they all try and check up behind them. Jim Johnson and Joe Campbell have nowhere to go. And mass chaos on the front straightaway. And looking at all the drivers are on pit road now. Lap 162, we'll have to wait and see, but Alex Crapser does not come to pit road. He was on pit road 14 laps ago. And a lot of cars staying out to get waved back around to the lead lap. But the first one off pit road is Superman, Luke Turpin. Austin Edwards comes out third, Jace Mungan in fourth, and it looks like Alex Crapser just stayed out to lead a lap. He is now coming to pit road. That'll give the lead back to Superman, Luke Turpin. Austin Edwards will be in second, Jace Mungan third, Matt Bear fourth, Zach Edwards fifth, Jonathan Schwartz will be in sixth, Jonathan Bergeron will be in seventh, Kendrick Cryer in eighth, Mason Foster in ninth, and Greg Holes in 10th. Don't forget to check out Sim Racer Hub for all your sim racing information, lap times, league standings, points, all sorts of great information for all you on iRacing. Sim Racer Hub is where you find it. Also, don't forget, as you saw in the commercial, the Higgins Spotter Pack version 2 is out. Even better. And now that Higgins has returned as a car owner, things are a bit more exciting. We could get more Higgins anytime. You can find the Higgins, the XCAL Superfan Spotter Pack. You can go on the XCALRacing.com website and search for it, find it, get it, install it. You can use it on anything. However, highly recommend the first time you use it, don't be in a race that's important. You'll be laughing extremely hard. And while you're at XCALRacing.com, don't forget to become an XCAL Racing Patreon. You can find their Patreon link on the website and help support XCAL Racing, as well as links to become a car sponsor or a series sponsor. Plus, while you're at XCALRacing.com, don't forget to go and check out the XCAL web shop. Find all your XCAL gear you could ever want and more. Looks like the light should go out on the pace car this time. Aaron Hillebush as the flag man tonight gives them the 1 to green. Octavio Rondoletto comes off pit road all the way back in 16th place. Jonathan Bergeron currently in 7th. Looks like Rondoletto had an extremely long stop. I'm guessing he took 4 tires and fuel to see if that might be his final tire stop. He might just stop for fuel when he has to. Pace truck is in. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away. Luke Turpin jumps to the lead. Austin Edwards has Jace Mungan underneath. Luke jumps to the high side to set up into turn 1. Look for Octavio Rondoletto and Jonathan Bergeron to come charging towards the front very, very quickly, as it's 3 wide at the front. Matt Bear stuck in the middle. Looks like we've got a car going backwards. I believe that was Austin Edwards that just got shuffled back. It was. Austin just gets shuffled up to the high side and ends up going backwards. Meanwhile, Luke Turpin under attack up front by Jace Mungan. Octavio Rondoletto restarted in 15th, already up to, oh my gosh, Jonathan Schwartz is around right at the front of the pack. I do not know how Schwartz managed to save that. The Schwartz was definitely with him. Brandon Varney ends up in the grass. And it looks like Schwartz just got a little bit of a punt, and everybody ends up going down pit road. Or down into the grass, rather. Octavio Rondoletto was also caught in this. Happens right in front of him. He goes down to the grass as well. Schwartz, great save there. Had to lean a little bit on Mason Foster, it looked like, but manages to hold on to the car. However, Octavio all the way back in 14th again. Jonathan Bergeron takes advantage of the chaos. He is hopped all the way to 4th. What is going on with Luke Turpin tonight? Down the front straightaway, off of turn 4 multiple times tonight. It has almost looked like he stopped. He's just, it has to be a gearing problem. He just does not have that straightaway speed on the front straightaway. Meanwhile, Jonathan Bergeron just ran the fastest lap of the race again. I should have kept track of how many times he broke his own lap record here tonight. He had Bergeron now up to 2nd. Matt Baird took advantage, and he is in the lead for the moment. Started in 14th. Matt Barrett now up, leading some laps here tonight. As the team owner for Off Constantly Motorsports, he has got to be happy to at least get some bonus points out here tonight, leading laps. Jonathan Bergeron now in 2nd. Jace Mungan in 3rd. Luke Turpin in 4th. Zach Edwards in 5th. Austin Edwards now in 6th. Jonathan Schwartz, after that epic save, currently in 7th. Kendrick Cryer in 8th. Mason Foster in 9th. Jonathan Bronson in 10th. Brandon Varney managed to save it. Now he is battling for 10th. Octavio Rondoletto has only picked up 1 spot so far, but he is now diving under Blake Wynn. He's going to move back up into 12th. 75 laps to go. Can Octavio get back to the lead, especially now that Jonathan Bergeron has jumped to the lead? Let's take another look from the XCAL chopper tonight. Obviously, the blimp a bit out of position here. There you can see the infield road course here at the track. Matt Baer currently in 2nd, managing to stay with Bergeron for the moment. Jace Mungan 3rd, Luke Turpin 4th, Zach Edwards in 5th. Mason Foster, oh my goodness, they're 3 wide through 1 and 2. Mason in the middle, Brandon Varney at the bottom. Oh my God, Octavio goes through the grass to try and make it 4 wide. No caution, but we have cars going through the grass. Caution is now out. As after Octavio gathers it up, several cars manage to end up in the wall, including Edmund Jones, Pat Sullivan. Brandon Varney obviously goes for a spin. Let's see if we can get a look Brandon Octavio just comes up off the grass into Brandon. It looks like Schwartz was having some issues. Brandon Varney pulls a great 360, even though he loses a ton of positions here. Octavio manages to save it, almost saves it, ends up drifting into 3 and 4. That is how Edmund Jones and several others get collected back behind. Greg Hulls is collected. Just nowhere for Greg to go. Nothing he could do there. Patrick Sullivan also involved. Looks like Patrick almost got checked up for it. And catches Octavio right at the end. Looking at Edmund Jones as he comes by with half of his team. He gets up to the high side into the wall. Thought he had it cleared, but the 19 just drifts up the track. A lot of cars back on pit road now. Just under 75 laps to go. And look at this. Jace Mungan, Austin Edwards, Kendrick Cryer, Alex Grates, and Edmund Jones now have the top 5. Edmund does not look like he has much damage, as a lot of drivers just hitting pit road after they've been green for only about 13 laps. Well, let's take a look at Edmund's car. I'd imagine the right side's going to be a little rough. That whole team, though, the top 5 spots, Edwards High Performance and the Jones team all together in the top 5. Octavio Rondoletto may end up having to go to the end of the line here. We'll watch and see. Currently scored in 18th place. That was not a very Octavio kind of move. I was surprised to see him go and make it 4 wide, especially through the dog leg, but you got to give the guy credit. He sent it that time. And it looks like Petey Zeller has had an incident trying to get to pit road. Not sure. I have no idea what... Looked like Petey was thinking about going to pit road and changed his mind at the last minute. All right, let's reset the field here as they go around. Jace Mungan and Austin Edwards on the front row. Kendrick Cryer, Alex Grates on the second row. Edmund Jones and Derek Colson have the third row. Jackson McLean now back up into the top 10 in 7th with Luke Turpin in 8th. Matt Bear is 9th, Zach Edwards in 10th, and Jonathan Bergeron and Jonathan Bronson, Mason Foster, Jonathan Schwartz, Blake Wynn, Jeff Edgar, Brandon Varney, Octavio Rondoletto, Alex Krapser, and Josh Dewey rounding out the top 20. They'll have about 70 laps to go at the green. Down through 3 and 4, the iRacing pace truck about to pull off. Aaron Hillebush in the flag stand tonight. Pace truck is in. Green flag in the air. They are down and away again. Outside line seems to take off a little bit better down into turn 1, though. That inside line really cranks it up, and it looks like a little wiggle out of Jace Mungan. No, that was out of Austin Edwards on the high side, and Austin now to the lead. Oh, big wreck in the middle of 3 and 4. Caution is out again. Edmund Jones and Derek Colson involved. Derek Colson on the outside. I don't know what happened there. Let's see if we can see that from another angle. Looks like several other cars pile in behind him. Oh, Luke Turpin gets into the back of Edmund Jones. Derek Colson ends up in the wall. Let's see. I am pretty sure Luke Turpin did get into him, but let's see if we can dial up the in-car. For Superman here. There he drops down to the bottom. No, Edmund just gets loose on corner entry. Then Art Hendren has an incident back behind. Looks like it might have been just trying to avoid the incident up ahead. Art hard onto the brakes, ends up spinning around into Edmund. Several other cars check up. Looks like Greg Holes in the 19 also got caught in this. But he manages to get stopped just barely. I would imagine there is a bunch of arguing going on right now after that incident. Definitely a rough situation. This track is a little bit tricky because the corners are so flat. Little too much brake and you're trying to catch the car up the track, and these kind of incidents happen. Same thing if you drive in too deep. The front end just pushes out to the wall and you don't have anything you can do. And would you look at this, Alex Greats now up into third after starting all the way tail end of the field. Superman Luke Turpin now up into fifth. Jonathan Bergeron now up into ninth. And Octavio has gotten back to 16th. But Austin Edwards looking for his second win of the season up front now. Wave arounds underway. Everybody stacking back up. Lights still on the pace car. They will get the 1 to green next time by. Should be getting 1 to go from Aaron Hillebush this time. Aaron tells the drivers it is 1 to go. Austin Edwards and Chase Mungan have the front row. Alex Greats, Kendrick Cryer on the second row. Jackson McLean, Luke Turpin have the third row. Matt Bear, Zach Edwards on the fourth row. Jonathan Bergeron, Jonathan Bronson rounding out the top 10. Pace car coming out of turn 4, then the iRacing pace truck will pull off the track. A little over 60 laps left to go. Guys that pitted on this stop might, if they get a couple caution laps, be able to go the distance. Green flag is in the air. When we hit lap 195, a lot of drivers will be able to go the distance. Around lap 205, everybody can go the distance on fuel. Holy cow! That was Alex Greats making that move off turn 2. Jumps up in front of Kendrick Cryer, now down into turn 3. Luke Turpin on the bottom, trying to make up some spots. The five teammates up on the high line, pushing their way to the front. Octavio Rondoletto has gone to pit road. Is this his final fuel stop? I don't think it's 61 laps to go. I don't think Octavio can make it from here. Not without at least one, possibly two cautions. Jace Mungan out front. Austin Edwards now into second. Kendrick Cryer in third. Alex Greats in fourth. Luke Turpin in fifth. Look at Zach Edwards trying to make something happen up top. Matt Bear down to the bottom. Jonathan Bergeron back up into ninth and fighting his way forward. So far, Bergeron has the fastest lap of the night by quite a bit. Almost 0.2 of a second faster than everybody else. Side by side, Matt Bear and Zach Edwards battle it out. Jonathan Bergeron looking for any advantage here. Although I don't see us having another 3 or 4 wide through that dogleg until the end of the race. Alex Greats in 6th, trying to fight. Oh, Alex goes around. It looks like Bergeron is involved. No caution. All the drivers managed to avoid. There is a little bit of chaos back behind. Now we've got another car around. Caution is out. We've got several cars around on the front straightaway. Take another look at what happened to Alex Greats. Looks like Bergeron just gets a push. Zach Edwards manages to clear it. Then what happened to Thanos and PDJ Zeller? Oh, Thanos just ends up getting a little too much of a bump from behind. Comes back up the track, and as he comes back down, collects PDJ Zeller and several others. Little over 57 laps to go. Only a few drivers could make it from here on fuel if it stays green. Guys like Luke Turpin might be able to make it. Austin Edwards might be able to make it. How many of them come to pit road is anybody's guess. It looks like none of them. None of the top 3. No, last minute dives to pit road here. And it looks like Kendrick Cryer tried but was too late. While we're under caution, pit stops are underway. Let's get in a commercial break.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. butt kicker. The future is feeling.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
All right, we are back just before they get ready to stack them back up for the restart. Does look like they get the 1 to green. Looks like Edmund Jones is junked. We'll have to take a look at the replay later tonight or in the morning because it looked like Luke Turpin was too far away to have hit him. However, I did get word that he did not get loose. He got straight up smacked. So we'll have to take a look at the replay later and just see who was, could it have been a netcode situation? We have seen a little bit of that tonight, so hard to say, but thankfully I'm not the admin to make the call. Hate seeing Edmund out. He was having a great run again tonight. His team really coming together. Edwards High Performance, definitely that collaboration, definitely coming together extremely well as evidenced by how many cars they've had in the top 10 all night. All right, lights going out on the pace car. Jace Mungan, Kendrick Cryer on the front row, Zach Edwards, Brandon Varney now on the second row. Stephen Wedden and Jonathan Emerson has come back there on the third row. Kenny Tripp and John Friley on the fourth. Luke Turpin, Jonathan Bronson round out the top 10. A lot of drivers hitting pit road under this caution. Not many, we think, can go the distance from here. But with one more caution, they just might be able to. Down toward 3 and 4, the iRacing pace truck will pull off in turn 4. Aaron Hillebush will wave the green flag. Jace Mungan and Kendrick Cryer will race it down into turn 1. Still 31 cars on the lead lap as the pace car hits pit road. Green flag in the air. And Kenny Tripp hit pit road as well. Kendrick Cryer has the advantage on the high side as they hit turn 1, but down on the bottom, Jace Mungan pulls ahead. Oh, big wreck back behind. No caution yet. Looks like John Friley ends up down into the infield after getting into, I believe, Jonathan Bronson. Yep, that was Jonathan Bronson. They get together. Bronson now to pit road. Heavy right side damage on that car. Jace Mungan up front, but look who is back in the fight for the lead. It is Zach Edwards. Zach Edwards side by side for second place now. Got to run on Cryer into turn 1. Looks like he's going to clear, and Brandon Varney sticks the nose in. Stephen Wetton now up into 5th. He's been hanging around 15th to 20th all night long. He's now in this fight. Jonathan Emerson, who we saw having connection difficulties earlier, had to drop back, get those addressed, and now look at him, up to 6th. Luke Turpin in 7th. He is the first of the cars that pitted under caution. Mason Foster in 8th. Jonathan Schwartz 9th. Dwayne Robinson now up into 10th. It looks like Jonathan Bronson may have actually ended up having to tow to pit road due to damage. Matt Bear back in 11th now. Blake Wynn in 12th. But Jonathan Bergeron currently in 13th. Octavio Rondoletto in 16th. Do either of these drivers have enough time to make it to the front? Edmund Jones, after repairs, is back out on pit road. We'll try and get a look at his car here in a few moments and see what kind of condition it is in. Let's see. Not too terribly bad. A little crinkled on the right side. Looks like the handling might be off just a hair. Gerald Poole also back out on track after his earlier incident. He is up to 32nd now. And it looks like we are within the window. Every driver can make it from here on fuel. Now becomes a strategy move. Who stays out the longest? Do they wait for a potential caution here? Jace Mungan up front, Zach Edwards in 2nd, Kendrick Cryer 3rd, Brandon Varney 4th, Turpin in 5th. Turpin pitted on lap 194, had a couple of laps of pace, or a couple of pace laps. Might be able to extend that to the end. We've seen him run as much as 53, 54 laps on fuel tonight. But he has the farthest run. Look back behind as Schwartz starts making his way forward. They almost get 3 wide, and right behind him is Jonathan Bergeron. And look who's just a few cars back, Octavio Rondoletto. But Matt Bear is in there. We've seen Matt Bear up front. Derek Colson, Stephen Wetton, both on pit road for their final stop. Jonathan Bergeron continues his fight to the front, now looking to make moves down to the inside, whereas earlier in the race, he was extremely loose on the bottom and made all of his passes up top. Now he's making that bottom line work. Octavio Rondoletto just sending the car wherever he wants it. Meanwhile, the top 5 starting to open up a little bit of a gap. Luke Turpin in 5th has over a second on Mason Foster in 6th. Jonathan Bergeron now up into 7th. Octavio in 9th. Zach Edwards still holding on to the lead. Jace Mungan and Kendrick Cryer nose to tail. Expect these two to work together to get by him. But Zach Edwards has come from behind tonight. He was up front at the start of this race. has an extremely fast race car here tonight. Can he hold everybody off for the remainder of this race? 40 laps to go. That three-car group is actually starting to pull away just a little bit from Turpin. Brandon Varney also losing touch with the lead group. Jonathan Bergeron now starting to close in on the cars ahead. Octavio trying to get around Mason Foster. And how about Mason Foster, who started in 20th, worked his way up into the top 10, and has been there all night long. And of course, no surprise, late in the race, Jonathan Schwartz is in the top 10. He is currently in 9th. Dwayne Robinson, who has been way back in the field a couple of times tonight, has managed to hold on to the lead lap and now battling in the top 10. And he's got to run under Schwartz for 9th. Derek Colson has had a crash, no caution. Colson through 3 and 4. I think he got a love tap there. Couldn't tell who was right in front of him or who was behind him. Try and get another look at this to see. I believe that is Edmund Jones. Just gets into turn 3 a little too deep. Fortunately, Derek managing to keep it off the wall, do a 360, and keep that car going. Brandon Varney in 5th, now under attack from Jonathan Bergeron. Bergeron starting to close in. Rondoletto has cleared that group behind him. Austin Edwards has cracked back into the top 10. He has not been to form all night long. Just seems like that car has been off since they unloaded it. Hasn't been able to get very far up in the field. He led some laps on strategy earlier, but just doesn't seem to have the same speed that we usually see out of Austin. Austin trying to get around Jonathan Schwartz on the bottom. Blake Wynn now up into 11th after starting 25th. He's having a great run. Jace Mung and Kendrick Cryer go to pit road. Now Zach Edwards up front all alone. He has a 1.1 second gap over Luke Turpin. Luke Turpin currently in 2nd. That moves Jonathan Bergeron up to 3rd. Brandon Varney up to 4th. Octavio Rondoletto in 5th. And look at this. They're just trying to make it 3 wide here late in the race. Brandon Varney is on pit road. Zach Edwards last pitted lap 177. He cannot go the distance. Luke Turpin is probably the only one with a chance out there that stopped at lap 194. He is likely the only one with a chance of making it on fuel. We've seen Octavio stretch the fuel a little bit tonight, but not to the extent that Luke has. Jonathan Bergeron gets by Turpin, goes to 2nd. 1.5 seconds is the gap to Zach Edwards. Derek Colson going a lap down here. 23 cars left on the lead lap. Jose Godino is the last car on the lead lap. And Jonathan Bergeron has not been able to close the gap very much since getting to second, but Turpin staying right there with him, and Rondoletto now up into fourth. Look behind Rondoletto, Austin Edwards now up into fifth, Mason Foster side by side with him in sixth. Blake Wynn currently in seventh, trying to find a way past both of these cars. Jonathan Schwartz eighth, Dwayne Robinson in ninth, and Matt Bear in 10th. Zach Edwards' lead is starting to shrink. Let's do a rundown of everybody on the lead lap. We'll try and get the whole field in here, but it's getting sketchy. Zach Edwards in the lead. Jonathan Bergeron now up into second. Luke Turpin in third. Octavio Rondoletto now in fourth. Austin Edwards in fifth, and then three wide behind as Mason Foster and Blake Wynn battle for fifth. Or for sixth, excuse me. Jonathan Schwartz now in eighth. Dwayne Robinson is ninth, and Matt Bear now into 10th. Patrick Sullivan now back in contention. He is in 11th. Alex Krapser has come from nowhere to come up into 12th. Caution is out. Looks like Rodney German and Jackson McLean caught up in this one. Oh, Rodney German was up high, letting lead lap cars by, and just comes down on Jackson McLean. Looks like German bounced off the wall and comes down, clips the right rear quarter panel just enough to send Jackson around. What a heartbreak for Jackson. He was having a great run here tonight. And everybody's coming to pit road. They can all go the distance from here. There are a few drivers that pitted under green flag conditions, like Steve Wetton. This is his opportunity. If he gets the wave around, he might actually still be in contention here. Robert Colgan does not come to pit road. Albie Hewen stays out as well. Kyle Bartle stays out. Greg Hull stays out. Jonathan Bergeron gets a splash of gas. He is on his way back out. Schwartz coming out second off pit road. Austin Edwards will be third off. Turpin fourth, and Octavio Rondoletto fifth off pit road. But the top four do not come to pit road. They're hoping to stretch their fuel under caution. Let's hop in the cockpit of Colgan and see. I'm willing to bet he is in fourth gear right about now, and he's got the clutch in. Lets the clutch back out, coasting down, trying to save as much fuel as possible. Looks like these top four are going to try and go the distance. Cars getting waved around. A lot of cars on pit road. 25 laps to go. Cars getting waved around back to the lead lap now. Looks like Varney's going to come around. Should put about 24 About 26 cars back to the lead lap, I do believe. As everybody tries to sort everything out. And Robert Colgan leads for the first time here tonight. Remember, Colgan was caught up in a couple of incidents earlier on in the race. Great job, great strategy, putting him back up here in position to pull off a win here tonight. We'll have just over 20 laps to go. When the green flag drops, let's hear your predictions. Who's going to win this one in the comments? Drop in there. Tell us who you think will pull off the win here at Phoenix. Aaron Hillebush in the flag stand tells the drivers 1 lap to green. Colgan and Hewins have the front row. Greg Holes, Kyle Bartles on the second. Jonathan Bertrand, Jonathan Schwartz on the third. Austin Edwards, Luke Turpin have the fourth. Octavio Rondoletto, Dwayne Robinson round out the top 10. Alex Krapser, Matt Bear, Patrick Sullivan, Mason Foster, Blake Wynn, Zach Edwards, Sean Patrick, Alex Grates, Travis Sokup, and Jim Johnson round out the top 20. Great job by Jim after being getting caught up in a really big wreck earlier to get back up into the top 20. Has had a couple of great strategy moves, led a couple of laps. Definitely going to come home happy tonight after everything that has happened to him on track. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air. It'll be 22 to go at the line. And we have a prediction. Albie Hewins for the win. Can he get it done and get his first XCAL win here tonight? Albie up top, losing a little bit of ground. Kyle Bartles down to the bottom. Colgan clears the pack. Kyle Bartles in second. Look at this. Jonathan Bertrand back in the fight. And Bergeron looks low out of turn 4. He is making his way forward, not far behind Octavio Rondoletto, now up into 7th. Octavio and Jonathan share the most laps led. I believe it goes to Rondoletto as of right now. And Turpin makes a move down into the bottom, gets the left sides in the grass as they go through the dog leg. Got a car. Albie Hewins is in the wall. Oh, they're wrecking behind, but everybody saves it. How did they manage that? Several cars completely sideways. Now Jonathan Bertrand has a run on Colgan, down to the bottom. Rondoletto right on his back bumper. And look who shows up late in the race. It's Austin. Caution is out. Stephen Wetton involved in this one. Big spin. It looks like PDJ Zeller gets caught in this one. Looks like Thanos gets caught too. Let's take a different angle at it. And it looks like there might have been a little bit of contact there. Stephen Wetton has nowhere to go. When he hits Petey, everything goes sideways. Petey collects the 0-4 of Gerald Poole, and everybody behind him stacks back up into him. Art Hendren also caught in this one. Actually, I don't think Art picked up any damage out of that one. I think he got stopped in time. Derek Colson. Derek has had zero luck here tonight, and Joe Campbell right behind him gets a piece of it too. The only drivers coming to pit road on this one appears to be the ones involved in the incident. Everybody else staying out. They know they can go the distance on fuel. No point changing tires right now. Robert Colgan was in the lead at the time of the caution. Therefore, will maintain the caution. Or will maintain the lead, rather. So it'll be Robert Colgan and Jonathan Bergeron on the front row, Octavio and Austin on the second row, Luke Turpin, Kyle Bartles on the third row, Jonathan Schwartz, Alex Krapser on the fourth row, Dwayne Robinson, Greg Holes rounding out the top 10. Austin Edwards' car has been terrible all night long, but here he is up in the top 5. And whatever problem Luke Turpin was having off of turn 4 down the front straightaway the first half of the race seems to have disappeared. He's got something figured out now. PDJ Zeller still on pit road. Edmund Jones gets, looks like he got a wave around on this one. As they stack back up for the restart. Looks like they are going to delay the green one more time, so we will have less than 15 to go. Remember, at 10 to go, per XCAL rules, there will be no more wave arounds. At 5 laps to go, Aaron will tell him, green, 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 there will be no more cautions. I once actually asked Aaron if at like 4 laps to go, if the track suddenly opened up, like, you know, the first Ghostbusters movie, if they would stop it. The answer was, if they can jump the gap, they're going to keep racing. So, nobody summoned Zool. Aaron gives him the 1 to green. Colgan on the high side, Bergeron on the bottom. Some of the top names in XCAL up here in the top 10 right now. Things could get very interesting very, very quickly in this pack. Pace truck about to drop onto pit road, and then the green flag will drop. Could we see this go green to the end? Pace truck is in. Green flag is in the air. They'll have 14 to go at the line. And it's a drag race down the front straightaway. Both the lead front line drivers have pushed from behind. Jim Johnson had an issue on the restart. Albie Hewins had an issue on the restart. They're 3 wide into 3. Colgan gets a bump. He ends up in the outside wall. And Octavio slips by while they're having contact back behind. Octavio slips by into the lead, but Bergeron not done yet. Octavio on the bottom. Bergeron way, way, way high. He's going to lose a lot of positions here. Now it's Austin Edwards up into second. Could he get his second win of the season here tonight? It is Octavio leading, Austin Edwards in second. Bergeron still fighting back in third with Luke Turpin. And look who's in fifth, Jonathan Schwartz. Let's see what happened to Jim Johnson on the restart. And Albie Hewins. Albie up top. Oh, it looks like the 17 gets into the back bumper and sends him down into Jim. Albie was having a great run here tonight. A bit of a heartbreak to see the way it ended for him tonight as well. Albie now back in 24th. Jim Johnson in 23rd. Octavio in the lead. Austin all over the back bumper. Next time my 10 to go, there will be no more waiver rounds if the caution comes out. Down into turn 3, and now Jonathan Bergeron has fought his way back into second. He gets a run under Austin. Does he open the door? Does Turpin get in? Austin shuts the door. There will be no more waiver rounds. Still 24 cars on the lead lap. Bergeron looks to the bottom. He's trying to get a run on Rondoletto. They are side by side off into turn 3. Octavio sends it in deep. But Bergeron has the run out of turn 4. Octavio has scored as the leader at the line, but barely by a nose. They drag race down the back straightaway. Austin Edwards still lurking in third. Turpin in fourth. Jonathan Schwartz is still there. Dwayne Robinson has made his way up to 6th now. Matt Baer in 7th. Zach Edwards is 8th. Crapser is 9th. Kyle Bartles now in 10th. Mason Foster just outside in 11th. It is still a drag race to see who's going to get this one. It is 8 to go. Look at this. Octavio gets the wall out of 2. He doesn't lift. Jonathan ended up getting a little loose. They pushed up the track. Octavio got the wall, but neither one of them lifting. They're both going for it. And it is Octavio at the line by like an inch, if that. Oh, Bergeron gets loose off 2. He still keeps it in there. Austin Edwards gets to the bumper. Bergeron still trying to find a way around Octavio, but now Turpin to the high side. Turpin has a run on Austin Edwards up top. Bergeron back to the bottom, trying to get a run on Octavio. Next time by will be green, no caution. Octavio has the nose ahead going into the turn. Bergeron keeps driving forward off turn 4. It's a drag race down to the line. There will be no more cautions, and Octavio gets it at the line by 100th of a second. But now Bergeron's starting to pull ahead just a little bit. Austin Edwards on the ball. It's getting sketchy back behind as Matt Baer gets into the back bumper of Jonathan Schwartz. A wreck back behind. Sean Patrick involved. Travis Sukup involved. Not sure. Let's see. Sean Patrick goes off into the turn. Don't know what happened with Sukup, but obviously Patrick gets a bump and ends up going around into the outside wall. Back up front, still side-by-side battle. Looks like Austin Edwards is looking to take advantage of it. He was looking low out of turn 4. 3 to go. Who will it be? Oh, just getting notified that if Bergeron wins, that would be the first win by a Canadian in XCAL. And Bergeron has a nose ahead out of 4. But Octavio, can he beat him to the line? It is Octavio at the line. 2 to go. This is going to come down to whoever gets the run off of 4 on that final lap. Octavio's got a half a car. Oh, they're wrecking behind. Schwartz is in the grass. Schwartz saves it. He's going to come back on track. Schwartz comes up the track into the outside wall. Octavio's got the lead as they come out of 4. White flag is in the air. 1 more to go. Bergeron sends it into turn 1. Side by side again for the final lap. Bergeron is loose off turn 2. Austin Edwards is still there. Luke Turpin still there. Into 3 and 4, and Bergeron pushes up. He gets into Octavio. Bergeron has the run, and Austin tries to. He gets loose. Austin gets into Turpin. Jonathan Bergeron wins at Phoenix. Austin Edwards manages a 2nd place. Turpin comes home 3rd. Matt Bear is 4th. Octavio ends up in 5th. Zach Edwards pulls off 6th. Alex Krapser comes home 7th. Blake Wynn is in 8th. Kyle Bartles in 9th. And Mason Foster in 10th. Edwards High Performance had a bunch of cars up there at the early in the race, but it is the J&S teams that have the most drivers in the top 10 at the end. Jonathan Bergeron, what a win. And Jordan Babinger cheering him on, as looks like Bergeron's going to come back out and get some burnouts done here. Either that or he forgot where... No, he is coming back out. I thought he might have forgotten where his pit box was for a moment. Just waiting to get a hold of Luke Turpin, Austin Edwards, and Jonathan Bergeron. What a run, what a battle for the win. That last 4 of those last 5 laps, side by side, at the line each time. It was a 1/100th of a second or less. Austin Edwards on pit road. Luke Turpin at the start-finish line. Everybody lining up for the demo derby. Let me see if I can find Turpin. He's being a little slow. Hey, Luke, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's going on, man?
Hey, that definitely looked like one heck of an exciting finish, but my first and most important question, what the heck was up with that car early in the race? It looked like several times out of turn 4, you just stalled midway down the front stretch.
Oh, Doug, you know me. There's a bigger picture at play there. That's, there's games going on, and then there's like games on games going on, and that was games on games. So we had a plan, and it was working.
I got you. So you're playing 3D chess. Everybody else out there playing checkers, huh?
Oh, they don't even know what I'm playing.
Well, man, that was one heck of a run tonight, and I know I checked it a couple of different times. It looked like you were getting anywhere from 3 to 5 laps more on fuel, and you could have made it from that last stop at lap 194.
Yeah, we were looking good. We really needed a green flag race there. We were going to be in really good shape if we did. We started a good car. I just, there was nowhere to go at the end. They were 2x2 in front of us. Everybody had a good race. I think Octavio got screwed out of that deal, but, good race.
It definitely was a good race for you. You come home with another podium finish. Any team or sponsors you'd like to thank, buddy?
Yeah, first and foremost, got to thank Big Bear, Mr. Bing Bong, putting this deal on for us and getting us in the show every week. Got Colgan Enterprises on the hood. First year with them, we've got a win already. We're looking to get more, and got new paint on the car, and a couple other trackside sponsors, and a couple other new sponsors on the car.
Well, man, it was a great job. You definitely showed up tonight. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
See if we can get old Austin. Hey, Austin, it's Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right. First off, and I was talking to Luke Turpin because the first half of the race, his car looked like it was having some problems out of 4. Obviously, he was doing a strategy move there, but your car did not look like what we're used to seeing out of you the first 2/3 of this race.
Yeah, Doug, I've been learning a lot from Luke, saving so much gas and all that. Just a rookie here, still learning, but took it easy in the beginning of the race and saved enough gas, stayed towards the front, and had it messed up a little towards the back. So luckily the cautions fell in our place. Got to get some spots back from 30th when I fell back there, about 50 laps to go, and was there right at the end. And honestly, I expected Bergeron and Arnold to get into it a little harder than they did, and they kept it somewhat clean. So unfortunately, that didn't work in my favor, but brought it home P2 and put some donuts on Superman's door. So it's a good day.
You definitely did that, and it looked like it was epic fun, especially that last 25 laps or so.
Without a doubt, Doug. Everybody was so adamant on fuel strategy and saving tires and all that in this race. And once we got to about 40 laps to go, it was all out the window, and everybody was full blast. So really got to see everybody's true speed out there. Really cool to see Bergeron get his first win in the series, and hopefully this will get my points lead a little bit longer just so I can relax at Bristol next week.
Well, yeah, that 60-plus point lead right now is definitely not comfortable enough for you, I'm sure.
Oh, without a doubt, Doug. You know my standards after last season.
I definitely do. Well, congratulations, man. Any team or sponsor you'd like to thank?
Oh, well, I got to do a shout-out to the EHP guys. I think we got 5 of our cars in the top 20 today. It's pretty dang good, 5 out of 10. We're making progress here every day. We had cars running up front all race, and it's only up from here. So really big shout-out to those guys. Shout-out to JR Graphics and Design, making these cars look beautiful every single race. Shout-out to you guys, How to Suck at iRacing, put on the great broadcast, and all the guys at XCAL for doing their thing, making this a great racing league. And if any fans are watching, thanks for watching.
All right, man. Congratulations. Another great run.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, let's get us a first-time winner. Hey, Jonathan, this is Doug. You got me?
I got you.
Hey, man. First off, I did not realize this until a few minutes ago. I was informed you are the first ever Canadian winner in XCAL competition. And a first-time winner on top of that.
Absolutely. I would say it's about time, but still early in the season. I'm happy. So
it definitely looked like a lot of fun. You and Octavio had quite a battle. That last 10 laps or so, you guys were side by side, and every time you came to the line, he beat you, but it was by like a couple thousandths of a second. I think the biggest gap between you at the line was 1/100th of a second.
I knew it was going to be close. He drives the hell out of his wheel there. He's a fast guy. I didn't think I had enough.
Well, you did. You managed to pull off your first ever XCAL win and the first ever win by a Canadian in XCAL competition. So that's got to be an awesome way to get your season going.
Yeah, hopefully next Canadian will be me again.
Hopefully so, man. Looks like you guys are about to go crash them up. Any team or sponsors you'd like to thank?
Well, I'd like to thank Team Dean Jordan and SOG gang that brought me into iRacing. But all you guys are a good group there, so keep the good stuff going.
All right, man. Congratulations. A great first-time win tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys.
Jonathan Bergeron brings home the first ever win by a Canadian and a first-time winner in his first season in XCAL and only the 5th race of the season. What an exciting race that turned out to be. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night. We will have Outlaws follow their Xfinity series, followed by the Nowski Retro Truck series. And in addition to that, next Tuesday we are off. XCAL is off for Valentine's Day. So those of you who will be celebrating Valentine's Day, have a good time, I guess. And we'll be back the following week with Bristol. That always promises to be an epic race in the street stocks. You're not going to want to miss out on any of that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Holy cow, I am out of breath. For Aaron Hillebush and everybody at XCAL Racing, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. And y'all have a wonderful night.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.